All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty wild connection, one that links the very edge of modern mathematics with some of the oldest wisdom in Western philosophy. And trust me, it's a journey that might just change how you think about truth itself.
So let's kick things off with a big question. What if our most brilliant tools for thinking, our science, our data, our logic, what if they're all just incredibly powerful carts that are completely useless without a horse to pull them? And make no mistake, the carts we've built are absolutely incredible. There are systems of reason, our logical frameworks, the very tools we use to understand and build our world. I mean, think about it. We use these things for everything, from building skyscrapers to writing software. They are the engines of progress, no doubt about it. They seem totally indispensable. But here's the thing. They have a huge hidden flaw. Because every now and then, our super powerful logical carts just get completely, totally stuck in the mud. There's a fundamental glitch in the system of pure reason, and it goes all the way down to the foundations.
So, how does any formal logical system actually get built? Well, it's kind of like a recipe with 3 steps. First, you start with your axioms. These are the basic truths you just assume, you don't prove them. Then you apply your rules of logic, nice and consistently. And from that, you start proving new things, which we call theorems. It's a beautiful, clean process, but the whole entire thing is resting on that first step, on unproven assumptions. And that, right there, is the big catch. A system can't prove its own foundations. A cart can't build the road it's driving on. The logic can explore what follows from its starting points, but it can never ever prove that those starting points are actually true. They have to come from somewhere else.
And look, this isn't just some fuzzy philosophical idea. Nope, this is a cold, hard mathematical fact proven in the year 1931 by one of the greatest logicians who ever lived. That logician was Kurt Gödel, and his incompleteness theorems basically broke mathematics. He proved that any logical system that's strong enough to do simple math will always have statements inside it that are true, but that the system itself can't prove. It's kind of like a dictionary that can define every single word, but it can't define what a word is. Our logical carts are fundamentally incomplete. They can't make their own fuel. Okay, so if our best logic is just a fancy cart sitting dead in the water, where do we find the horse? For that, we've got to take a trip way, way back in time. We're talking a massive leap here, almost 2,500 years before Gödel, all the way back to an ancient Greek philosopher named Parmenides. And it turns out he was asking the one question that holds the key to this whole mess. Parmenides' big idea was really out there for his time. He argued that beneath the messy, chaotic world our senses show us, true reality, what he called being, is actually one single unified eternal thing. It never changes, and, this is the most important part, it does not contradict itself. He said we have 2 paths for understanding. There's the way of truth, which uses pure reason to see that single, stable reality. And then there's the way of opinion, which is what we get from our senses, this confusing world of constant change and contradiction. For Parmenides, that second path, the path our stuck cart is on, is basically just an illusion. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. This fundamental, non-contradictory reality isn't some conclusion you arrive at with logic. It's not a theorem. It's the absolute, non-negotiable starting point. It's the ground that all reason stands on. This is the horse. So how does this all come together? You've got Gödel and Parmenides separated by thousands of years, but they're pointing to the exact same conclusion about how thinking works. You have to put the horse before the cart. This line says it all. We usually think of logic as a tool we use to build our way to the truth. But what if we've got it completely backwards? What if a foundational truth is what we have to start from, and logic is just the tool we use to explore it? Truth supplies the axioms. So let's lay it out really clearly. The horse is that intuitive grasp of a single, non-contradictory reality. Its job is to supply the starting points. The cart is our system of logic. Its job is to explore the consequences of those starting points. One is an act of seeing, the other is an act of building. Okay, this is a pretty cool link between philosophy and math, I get it. But so what? Why does any of this actually matter to us in our everyday lives? What's the real-world payoff?
It matters because this whole conversation isn't really about logic puzzles. It's about integrity. Committing yourself to a consistent, non-contradictory reality is the absolute foundation for a life of integrity. Just think about any argument you've seen online where people can't even agree on basic facts. That's a world of carts without horses, and you can't build trust or understanding there. It's impossible. You can think about it like a ladder. The first rung is ontological integrity, the simple idea that reality is consistent. When you stand on that, you can reach the next rung, logical integrity. Your thinking becomes clear because it's grounded in something real. That, in turn, helps you find moral integrity. Your actions start to align with your consistent thoughts. And all of that leads to the top rung, communal integrity, where we can actually have harmonious relationships because we're all starting from a shared, solid foundation.
And we need to be clear, the stakes here could not be higher. When our thinking is ungrounded, when we put the cart of our own arguments before the horse of a shared reality, the consequences are severe. It's not just about misunderstandings. It's about the kind of fragmentation and conflict that can literally tear societies apart. Reasoning well isn't just an academic hobby. It's a moral imperative. So I'll just leave you with this final question to chew on. What's the ultimate purpose of your own thinking? Is it to win a debate? To build a clever argument that proves you're right? Or is it to try and connect with a foundational reality that might just allow us to find some common ground with each other?